close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go.
Welcome along, guys. It is finally here. It's a very first league race in iRacing. It's a very first attempt at iRacing also. So you're all very welcome along, and this is going to be a weekly thing for the next 5 weeks on a Sunday night in the LMP2 series. It was going to be a mixed grid race, but unfortunately with sign-ups, it's quite hard to get into iRacing like this. So tonight we are for round 1 in Daytona, as you see there. And Just app is gonna, or Just Push the app is going to be a new app that's going to be released soon from Chris Tedder and his partner there. Obviously you know him from Amigos Racing, and absolutely want to give them a little shout out here this evening. But yeah, so we are going to be doing, it's a small enough race. There should be 5 drivers in total this evening. But at the minute we only have a few on track there. Chris Tedder, Ryan Harper, and then our own team driver Mark Shelton. Of course, we did have a few more signed up, but we didn't see the point in running 2 or 3 cars in the likes of GT3s and GTPs, so we're going with LMP2. It was a very last minute decision, so we will be expecting this to grow, but the show must go on, and that's why we are going to go starting today. But very welcome along, and I'm super excited about this one here because iRacing for me is the pinnacle of any esports racing, so it's just good to be part of that here this evening, and hopefully the guys will put on some great shows for yourselves this evening. And of course Chris Tedder, we all know him, as I say, from the app but also from Amigos. Just watching him go around there in his car. Now he is not last in qualifying so far. Milo Spielman is on provisional pole there with a 135.53 versus Mark Shelton's 135.99, Ryan Harper a 136.37. So Chris actually hasn't set a lap from what it looks like yet. So let's jump on board and you can get a feel for what it's going to be like here for the guys this evening. On the slow corners, the rig rams do like to feel a little bit loose. Just gets a bit of understeer, it gets the car out low. Missing a bit of the apex initially, but he's still able to fight the car. You see a bit of opposite lock there, but he runs with the throttle doing that. And able then to pushing forward. So let's see, can he get a time lap on board? Of course he is very used to LMU. He's a 137.24 I think is his best so far. Oh, a bit sideways there from him. Doing his very, very best. So it'll be interesting to see how this does go. The track map on there as well also, so you can at least get a view of where they are on the track at the minute. Of course, a few of them still sitting in the pits. As well, only 5 cars, you don't really need to go too mad in terms of qualifying here this evening. I'm sure we'll see some interesting racing though. It's quite close between Milo and Mark Shelton at the minute. Ryan Harper's now out as well, so Milo current pole position. Driver is out there. Ryan Harper coming out of the pits there as well. We'll jump back on with Milo as, yeah, there's about 5 minutes left in qualifying here. And really looking forward to seeing what the racing's like from the guys here this evening. Of course, quite a tough one. Quite a tough one for the guys with so little cars, but we'll make it work. iRacing, everybody's on an A license except for Mark, who's on a B. He'll be pretty much on an A soon enough at the way he's moving. Looks like Ryan Harper has the highest I rating out of the guys tonight. But yeah, Daytona as well is an awesome track. So much history here, especially with IMSA and IndyCar and everything else as well. It is just an awesome track to drive. It's one of my personal favourite American tracks. Road America being my favourite. Of course, Road America is actually going to be round 2 of this series as well. Just because I love the track and I love watching cars race around there. So while I'm doing the commentary, I'll be really enjoying it around there. Of course, Daytona, because it uses part of the oval track as well as the infield sector as well, it is quite a challenging track in terms of the likes of this chicane that he's going to come up to here, just how fast you take it, how hard you push it. Obviously, you're going to be worried about track limits here. It's beautifully done there. Right on the limits there. Let's go on board with him as he's absolutely giving it everything. 6th gear there. Doing an absolutely phenomenal job. So great to put that. How's he into turn 1? Really get your braking. It's such a tough corner because you're braking with steering input as well. quite easy to lock the inside left. But doing a great job there through there. That's beautifully done. Runs a bit wider on the exit though. He's using every bit of that track. So it's a much different race line to what you're seeing from Luke Tether or anyone else there as well. But he is absolutely on it. Mark is in the pits. He's the only car in the pits at the minute. The other 4 are out at the minute. Beautiful stuff here from Spielman. Great stuff there. I'm going to jump on with Simon here as well. Repping. I have to say, I do like this livery as well. He told me he got it off Trading Paints. It's a lovely livery, that the Audi livery on the LMP2. Very, very cool. And eerily kind of suits it very well, to be fair. So Simon on it as well. The guys are really be able to carry a lot of speed through that chicane. I'm very surprised just how hard they're pushing at it. Then again, I suppose it's qualifying. You shouldn't be too surprised. You should be giving everything. But they seem to be pretty much under control with the car. Huge front splitter on it. A lot of aero on these LMP2s. And it's hard to think then the LMP1s are so much faster again. Of course, more horsepower, but way more aerodynamics as well. The GTPs are a massive step up as well. Simon's doing a very good job. He needs to get this lap to count though as well. So at the minute he's the only one that hasn't actually got a lap on time yet. So I know in the practice he was slightly faster than one of the drivers. So let's see where he is now. Was he holding off on doing light runs until now as well? He is absolutely flying out there. Wheelman has the fastest top speed of anyone. 201, although that's Chris Tedder's 201 mile an hour as well. Let's see how this goes from. Where would this go from? No, he's obviously invalidating somewhere as well, which is not fun. On here with Chris now. I think he's the only one I've heard to drop a gear through there. Maybe that's just to stabilise the car, I'm not sure. I'll ask him about that. But I think he's the only one that I've heard that's actually trying to stabilise it with the gearing as well. Try and pull the front back a bit. As Milo is just tipping around. So interesting there for Milo. Oh, he's giving up on it now. So stay on, because I was seeing just how he was doing the gearing, but then again that's due to him probably stopping as well. He got the front just a little bit out there, a bit of a lock up, but it's nice and wide. Bottom's out the floor, running a bit too wide. Everybody's taking the wide entry in, tight exit on the way out. Short shift there from Chris as well. Interesting. Let's see where Simons comes here now. Surely this should be better for him. Oh, he's hooking it right down to the line. And he puts himself up in the fourth there. So he's jumped Heather by just a about 2, and it's slightly about 0.21 of a second. So Chris, if he can find a few tenths, can jump back up ahead, so he needs to be getting more aggressive here. Let's see how he goes here now. He's given up now, he's back into the pits. And that is pretty much it then for qualifying. So Milo Speedman holds the fastest qualifying lap there of a 1:35.36. Mark Shelton in second, a 1:35.57. Ryan Harper then a 1:36.0. Simons a 1:36.9. And Chris a 1:37.1. So to be fair, not bad going from any of these drivers here. And I'll be looking forward to see how we get on in the grid now in a minute. But that'll be a minute, yeah, before that comes up. And yeah, so for now I'll just show the track and the temperatures there this evening. So yeah, as you can see there, 30 degrees is the temperature out there, and on the track I'm assuming that is 20 degrees there, or 20% chance of rain, 10km/h wind. So it's honestly not that bad at all. So let's see now as we have a quick look at the grid there. See Mark Shelton then in P2, Milo Speedman in P1, Ryan Harper then in P3, Kowalski in P4, and Tedder in P5. And looking like it's going to be a very, very interesting one here for a first race. Of course, you know, the grid isn't as big as we really want. Why you no race, Miss Silvixen? I am doing commentary, and that's what I love doing, and I'm super excited about doing commentary on iRacing. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing what our lads can do here this evening. And yeah, it's going to be good fun. 100% keen. I'm so excited about this. And look, I don't mind. It is a small grid starting, but we have to start small and build our way up. I asked even in an iRacing forum about this, and it just does take a bit of time. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this builds up. Of course, this season, the 5-race season with the LMP2s. Then we will move on to some other cool racing as well. As it'll just take a minute or two for all the cars to enter onto the track. Give me loading in there now. We're using the Porsche safety car today. I've mixed up the safety cars in each race as well, just so we can see something different in this today. So let's see how we do. My voice is too low. I don't have to be sitting onto it. Interesting. And here we are, ready to go. So the guys are slowly moving off. Why is Mark Shelton still in the pits? Chris Tedder as well. Needs to get out there. I don't know what's going on with them. They've missed the start. So this is what it's like inside when you're trying to get everything set up. Get the tires warmed up and everything else. So let's see how we get going. He's just taking his time. Let me have an old look here now. If I go on to this here, so the 3 rolling around. The 2 others are going to have to start from the pits, which they're going to be a little bit sad about, but it is how it is. So not too far away. As the safety car goes in. And Milo straight away gone for it. So Milo's got a great start all to himself there. Ryan Harper then got caught out there, and Simon Kowalski as well. Then we've Chris Tedder leaving the pits there now. I'm not sure what happened, Mark Shelton, but Tedder is leaving the pits there now anyway, which is good to see. And on here with the guys here. So Milo is after getting himself a great start to this race here. Has quite a gap there to Ryan Harper already. Kowalski then in P3. Mark Shelton's leaving the pits now. So Shelton has a last to possible first, maybe second kind of a mood in him here this evening. So it'll be interesting to see. iRacing's a bit of a cost commitment. No, to be fair about it, the P2s that are running today, you have to have a B license minimum. So maybe it's just that's cutting down people that can enter. So I will be looking at an MX5 series that'll open it up to the masses. So I do feel that running this series is more for the kind of die-hard people that are actually in it all the time and have their license up. So I will be looking at doing stuff for the masses, the likes of Formula 4, Mazda MX5, so there will be more coming as well. As Milo is getting the job done, Ryan Harper though, not too far off him to be fair then in P2. Tedder though down in P4. Mark is now out there and giving everything in P5. Of course, he did actually qualify in P2. We just got a late start onto it here, but at the minute, Streelman having a good race here, but Ryan Harper has Kowalski not too far off him as well. So Kowalski here is looking for a way boy. Can he get the way boy is another thing. But at the minute, all going quite nicely. Of course, I wasn't going to be expecting too many incidents in such a small grid as well. But these guys are putting on a nice little battle so far. And we're what, about 3 seconds off now to Milo already is Ryan Harper. And Kowalski isn't too far off Ryan, so Ryan does have an actual race in his hands. Chris Tedder, this is going to be a much more of a learning race for him and understanding the physics in the car. I know he does race LMU quite a bit, so he's probably too used to the LMU LMP2 cars, and coming across the iRacing, the physics will be slightly different along with higher models as well, so we'll see how he goes. But yeah, so the only person to lose positions is Mark. Everyone else has gained positions, so Mark is down 3 positions after qualifying in P2. So yeah, I don't know what happened there that Mark had jumped to the pits. I don't know what's happened too much there, but look, at least we're going. That's the main thing. So jumping back on though to Milo, and he's absolutely flying out there. His lap at 139.95 with the higher fuel. So that's been quite impressive there, to be fair about it. Looking then, Ryan Harper is lapping quite decent, the 137.1 for him, and it's a 137.33 for Kowalski, and then Tedder 138. So the guys are actually quite close for pace in second and third in terms of race pace at the minute. Milo is of course just that bit faster at the minute than the guys. Mark Shelton last lap round is in the 136 as well, so Mark's faster than everyone other than P1, which was expected from where he did qualify. So it'll be interesting to see, can Mark pull in Tedder, can he pull in Simons and possibly Ryan? That's going to be an interesting one that we will be looking forward to see by the end of this race today. But doing a good job there, going back to Simon Kowalski here now. So he can only relax at the minute. I just see Ryan is still in the distance there, but probably not as close now as what he wanted, as he's after dropping us above 2 seconds now from Ryan Harper, which I wasn't expecting. I would have thought he would have stuck with him a bit more, but Ryan does have great pace as well. And he is giving it everything here as well. It's going to be down to pit stops as well, because all of these guys will have to do a mandatory stop. And it just depends how long they stop for as well. So we could see a little bit of interesting stuff with that. Taylor starting to lap. He is still quite a bit ahead. Yeah, he's still a bit ahead there of Mark when I'm just looking at it there. About 10 seconds or so, but that has come in quite a bit. So Chris just needs to focus on what's going on ahead of him. And keep doing what he's doing, and this is what it's all about. Of course, thanks to the guys for racing as well. It's kind of hard racing with such a small grid, but they believe in the community and they believe in what we're trying to achieve with this. So there will be more iRacing coming. We're trying to really move into the iRacing scene, and this is the first step. I will be looking at running an MX5 community in the next coming weeks, and possibly a little bit of oval stuff as well. Beautiful sound out of these cars as well. The Delaras just sound amazing. Ryan Harper, absolutely not. I do like Ryan's livery as well. It really does pop. And of course, for Milo out in front, that's actually his team's livery. So Milo does race for this team there, Lithium Motorsports, and it's a gorgeous looking livery he is running. Of course, Mark Racing is actually for the Supercharged Motorsports team as well. You see our logo on the car. Lovely design from them. So in terms of gap, I'll tell you one thing, Ryan Harper is really pushing on. I think he's pulled a bigger gap. And there's Simons. So he's pulling a big gap towards him. So he's nearly 4 seconds off the lead, but he's nearly 4 seconds or just over that clear of Simon now. Where is Tedder? Oh, I'll tell you one thing, Mark Shelton is slowly catching Tedder. That's now down to 8 seconds. And of course, he has started in the pits, so Chris might have a bit of a race soon enough, depending on how his pace goes. Bit of a short shifting. But yeah, this is what it's all about. And looking forward to seeing. I'll tell you what I will do though. I will put in a little bit of a dashboard there as well, so you can see the top speeds in kilometers an hour and the gear that they're using. Just over 180 mile an hour he's going to now. I have to say the first corner is very, very hard to get right because you're hard on the brakes, but also you're starting to get that steering lock on. As I was saying in quali, it's so easy to lock up a front tire here as well. But Ryan doing a good job. Simon's here that we're looking at doing an amazing job. Of course, Simon did know his name from our ACC leagues back in the day. He raced a few seasons ago, but he's gone on into iRacing now, so good to have him in here racing. Of course, Chris Tedder runs his own iRace or ACC community for Amigos, and of course I've known Chris for several years now. And top bloke, of course, he dabs in a bit of every sim race, and he's just absolute sim racing mad. Is Chris Tedder, and of course then Mark Shelton. I've known Mark for several years. He actually raced in my F1 leagues, funnily enough. And this is even, you're talking a good few years ago when it was FFG on console before we moved across then to PC, and that is Chris Tedder's just getting out of the way, but it looks like I think Chris had a slight moment. But what Chris can try and do now is stay on the back of Mark and possibly learn a little bit as well in terms of race lines, braking zones, and try and stick that slipstream. I just see him right behind there. You see Mark just does it a little bit different for Chris. Chris runs a bit wide there, but has got away with it. I'm sure he'd be kicking himself for that. And yeah, it's just one of these tracks. It's on an oval, and I suppose going back to the other drivers here, Ryan Harper is a name you would know when I done commentary a long time ago as Horseback Streams, and it was actually with I'm pretty sure Amigos. I don't think Ryan ever raced in my community, and it was another league that I was involved in. So Ryan has been definitely in a few of my streams in the past. 2 years, even a bit over 2 years, possibly for some. And Ryan's a super fast driver as well, and he made the kind of change to iRacing about a year ago, and hasn't been in ACC really since. Milo's slowing down to get a bit of a race on. It seems. So Ryan takes the lead. So Milo's looking for a challenge. There we go, and that's fair. Absolutely get this. Let's see what Milo can do. We practice for him here. Ryan Harper's not going to say no as he takes it on. And Chris is still there with Mark Shelton. Hasn't dropped off a massive amount. He's now, what, 2.5 seconds or so off. Well, you can see the difference there. Mark now absolutely on it. His fastest lap of 1:36.51 versus... Oh, what's happened to Ryan? Ryan, I think, has dropped behind him as well for a bit of crack. So Ryan's looking to learn by the looks of it. These three all going a bit mad. So Ryan's following Milo, who's following Simons here. So you can see the difference there. Milo's able to keep the car quite high, keep the car stable on the exit. Ryan got a little bit of oversteer there and was a little bit away. Now Simons after running a bit wide there. So Milo runs a bit higher than Ryan does as well. So it's interesting to see all of this information just as it is spread there as well. So Milo back into the lead, but now he has Ryan a lot closer as well as Simons there. Tell you one thing, from that angle the cars look rapid going through there. That's unbelievable. Of course, Milo from the Netherlands, he's like the Max Verstappen here this evening. No one can stop him. Beautiful stuff. Ryan's dropped it. Got a little bit too sideways. And now Simons after going through. Ryan gets it back going eventually. Now these cars are a bit slow to get off the line again with such a long force gear as well. Hopefully there's not too much damage on the car. It looked like it was literally just a clean spin. Oh, my Chris there, or Mark next. Mark's actually a little bit closer now to Ryan, only about 6 seconds off, so Ryan wouldn't have wanted that one. So if we go on board actually with him, we'll see it even better. Yeah, you're going to see Ryan at the next corner. So Mark will have the bit between his teeth here now to see what happens and what will be the outcome of this. But that's awesome to see now, something different. So let's see. Just going to add just a little bit more to my voice, I think, just to give it a bit more kick. Back in we go. So Mark doing a phenomenal job as always. Back on with Kowaleski. He's doing a great job there. Now as Milo drops himself down to 4th just for a bit of fun. He's not been in the pit yet anyway. So Simon now is leading the race by 11 seconds, it looks like, to Ryan Harper. Then Mark Shelton next. Then there's Milo right behind Mark. So Milo might find a bit more of a race now with Mark, because Mark is up on similar pace to him. Then we've got Chris Tedder, who is pushing on as well, doing a great job there. And for him, this is more of a race of learning because, as I say, he races so many other Ooh! Got a bit rear happy, but gets going. He's so used to the LMP2s on LMU, so this is a new challenge for him. Great stuff there now from Koleski. Ryan is somehow keeping it going. He's now 4.9 seconds clear of Mark, but also Mark is pushing forward, so this could be tough for him to hold on to this position. As Mark does have the bit between his teeth. Of course, he ended up having to start from the pits and was about 30 seconds off all of these. And of course, Milo, I think, is just slowing down for a bit of racing. So if I look on to Milo Speedman, yeah, he's right there as well. So he's sitting quite close to Mark, but this will be easier for him as well. Whoa, nicely caught there by Milo as well. That was a beautiful catch from him there. Slight lock up there. Gets the opposite lock on, able to control it there. Of course, when you're in that tow as well, you're getting that slight bit of overspeed as well compared to the car ahead. So it is a bit tougher again to be slowing down. So that's very, very good from him. So we'll jump on now with Mark, just to show the difference in sectors there. So Speedman runs a lot different than Mark there. He definitely had a much faster final sector due to the towing as well. Just the time delta sitting over there just to show you what's going on with the drivers. Beautiful stuff there. Ryan Harper is what, about 9 seconds off the race leader at the minute, and that's actually slowly coming in as well. He's pulled a few seconds in there also, so there definitely is a little bit coming back to them as well, so that'll be interesting to see as it does push forward. But doing a great job are all these drivers. Of course, it is tough for only 5 cars, so I absolutely applaud them for persevering this, and hopefully we get to grow this, as it is a brand new venture to us on the iRacing side of things. So definitely looking forward to seeing how this does progress and move forward. And Chris there, nice, much nicer there, less wheel spin, much more stable looking car. Maybe he's finally getting to grips with it. So wide entry in from. Oh, it's Simon's here. It looks like he is coming up towards the chicane, and he is. Beautiful stuff there from him. Get this back on. Beautifully done. I was just saving over my profile set up there in SDK. Of course, I am running the overlays from SDK. It's a great app. I do pay for it. I will throw an affiliate link in the Discord, and if anyone wants to use them, it's there for that also. But these guys are pushing quite hard here now. Harper's down under 9 seconds now, so he is slowly catching up. Harper is only 3 seconds though ahead of these guys who are pushing quite hard, which is of course Mark Shelton and Milo Spielman. I'm wondering, is Milo just backed off, or is it just that he's going through a certain phase and is maybe struggling a little bit? I don't know. We will find out. As this goes on. Yeah, doing a good job. I'm just going to try and give everyone a bit of airtime here. Is the best thing to do, as looking through all the incident boxes to see what's going on, which is nice to have that. So Harper's now less than 3 seconds clear of the guys now as they're coming behind. You've got Mark and Milo right there. Chris Tedder though, still going nice and strong, which is all you can ask for. And let's see how the guys go. Looking on the stream there. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. For those who are watching as well. Of course, I can only jump through all the racing that I see in front of me. Not much more other than that. But let's hope Shelton now is going to be starting to feel a little bit of pressure behind and ahead, as behind Milo's only 2 seconds off ahead. Ryan's only 2 seconds away, so this is now the view of Milo. You see Shelton 2 seconds up on him, and then you jump on with Shelton there. Although he looks like he's catching Raz a bit of a faster time, although it spreads out a bit on the exit. You can just see how aggressive he's able to attack that chicane as well, and Milo's the same. Milo right there with him. Bit of sparks, the car's running so low to the ground. He keeps very tight to the line there. Nice and tidy from Mark there as well. Do you know that? That is beautiful. What it's all about there as well. And yeah, looking like it's going nice and swimmingly for everyone out there at the moment. But Mark now is actually closer to Ryan, and Milo slightly further away. Oh, got a little bit sideways there, just due to hitting that curb, and he might have lost. He did lose a tenth or two there just on that curbing. So Ryan Harper very happy that curbing slowing him down a little bit. It gives him just a bit of time away, and that's it. You can see all the gaps there now, and that'll show you there. So now Mark Spion's about 4.48 seconds off Mark Shelton, and Ryan's come off track and back onto track, it's after saying, so that'll be a little warning for him there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And that is Ryan going in, I'm assuming, for his pit stop. It's only 25 minutes in, so that'll be interesting to see how we go. As going on with Milo here now. He's able to attack that first corner, I think, a lot tougher than a lot of drivers. You see him on the exit, a little bit of opposite lock there, using that power of TC helping him as well. And he's able to get such a good first turn one. And that's already pulled in a bit of time now. It's only about 2 seconds between Shelton and Milo as well. You hear him just running slightly wide there, and beautifully done. Absolutely on the limit of that car at the minute. Now he goes for a tighter line and sticks quite tight. Bit of opposite lock though, and running the power as much as possible. Can't be helping the tyres too much, but he's on it. It's only an hour race though as well, so he doesn't need to worry too much. Plenty of opposite lock there. He's absolutely wringing the neck of that car now at the minute. He's doing all he can. And Mark Shelton there, still about 2 seconds clear at the minute. Now, the thing about it is Simon has a 10-second lead. Of course, the guys did start out of position and one drop back. So what's going to be interesting for me is what can Kowalski do in this situation. He's obviously going to try and hold on to the lead, obviously. But I wonder how's his defensive driving around Daytona, as he might need it. But he is giving it everything there. Milo Spielman's going into the pits now as well. Nicely done for Milo. Header's still going around. That's what it's like on the nose at Header's car at the minute. Nicely done. He's definitely, you can see the difference in Tether. He's getting much smoother on the steering inputs and with the throttle as well. So Harper and Milo are still in the pits. Harper still stopped, as is Milo. Pit stops here aren't exactly rocket fast with these, so it'll be interesting to see, does Ryan get out ahead of Mr. Milo or not? I would assume so, because he's in there quite a bit longer. Oh, Milo's gone. So now Tether able to keep it going, a little bit of sideways action, but the main thing is able to keep it going. So Simon's there doing a great job. He's now 9-ish seconds ahead of Mark Shelton. Can he keep it that way is the question. Lovely driving there for Mark. It's unlucky that he didn't get out of the pits in time for the race start to really see what Milo could have done with him. Beautiful, beautiful. So Ryan's still in the pits. I'm not sure what's going on. Did he have loads of damage or what? I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sure we'll know soon enough. But we'll stick and keep going. Message to Mr. Oliver Anderson, of course, you'd know him quite well in the Supercharged community. The computer has died, so that's the reason why he hasn't been racing. He might have to dust off his old PC and get back into it. So now we have Tether up into P3 there. I'm not sure what's going on with Ryan Harper as he's gone to the pits. Back in the pits. So Mark Shelton now into the lead of the race with Mr. Kowalski and P2 in the pits. And Mark giving it everything as always. Of course, he does great in our endurance events. Of course, himself, Adam Locke, Chico Far, and a few others, not to mention that do. JJ Burr as well, actually. That do a lot for the team stuff for ourselves, so it's good to see that. So that is Kowalski leaving the pit. So Ryan's obviously having some sort of an issue because he's still in the in-game chat and that, so there's obviously some sort of an issue with him. So Kowalski now out in P3. Chris doing a tidy little job and keeping it going. You can definitely see he's getting a lot smoother with the car as well. So I think he is starting to get used to the physics of the car, the feel of the tires and everything else that goes with it. That's really, really cool to see. And I suppose let people see the license detail as well. You'll actually see there on the overlay that Mark is actually the only one that's a B license driver. The rest are A license drivers also. It's very cool to see that as well. So good show. It's not just about a license, it's about putting in the time, and Mark is definitely doing that. And he actually holds the fastest lap, I think, now of the race. So Kowalski now is just on a mission to recharge up and get hopefully back by Chris is what his aim is. I'm not sure where he's going to be in terms of with him and Shelton. Of course, when Mark pits as well, it's going to be quite close. Can he keep ahead of Mark is the thing. Last lap, there's no comparison as of course he was leaving the pits. So let's see this time round when both of them pass by to see where they'd be. But to be fair, definitely doing a good job. Let's have a look at what else is going on. So that's the results there of the practice overall. Just showing you really quick. That's what the way the practice times ended as well. Just to let you know that. And then the qualifying results, I suppose I'll give you that there as well while we're at it. Takes a second, that'll pull up then. Milo did qualify pole with Mark in second, Ryan in third, Simons in fourth, and Tedder in fifth. So it's always handy to know that kind of information as well. Oh, as Marcus dropped it. Wow. Rare mistake from Mark. As Tedder in the pits now. Bit of a lock up there, but he's able to keep it going. So that's cost Mr. Shelton about 3 and a bit seconds, just looking at it there. So he doesn't want to be doing that too often. So Tedder out of the pits now. So he is out behind Mr. Simons. Nicely done for Chris. It's all about finishing the races. Beautifully done there. I'll stick it on with Chris for a few minutes. And well, I'll jump around as well because Mark is still yet to pit. Doing a good job there. What was he? Last lap, yes, we lost like 5 seconds last lap, actually, it was, to Simons with 4.5 seconds. So it was a big time loss. So I think if he was to pit, I would assume Kowalski would come out ahead. But then again, his other lap times have been super fast. Kowalski's fastest time now is actually very close to Mr. Mark Shelton's. So I'm very interested to see when he does come into pits. So I definitely think that we will be doing some MX5 league racing soon as well, to make it accessible to the lower license levels. So let's see how this is going now. So Kowalski there, 29 seconds off Mark Shelton. So do you know what? Kowalski here lapping quite strongly. Last lap was still stronger than Shelton's. Shelton in the pits. Shelton coming out of the pits now. So Jesus, actually a bit further ahead than I thought. With the spin didn't help. Yeah, so he's now 14 seconds clear. It was 8 seconds, so that spin didn't help Mark at all. So now Mark has to do it all on track, which I feel might be a little bit tough. But we'll see how that goes there with Tetherdown doing a great job. Not sure what the issue is with Harper or Milo. We'll keep an eye on that as well. The guys are doing all they can, and that's what it's all about. Hard on the brakes. So Simons is exactly 14.95 seconds ahead of Shelton. That should definitely drop down. Good stuff here. Quite a lonely one for the boys today. Nice and tidy there through turn 1 from Mark. You can see the difference there in track. So Kowalski, the time is being eaten to slowly. Nice short shift there. Yeah, you can see it's a full U of a difference in terms of actual overall pace as well, which is huge. That's gas. One of my work colleagues has done the one chip challenge I gave them. I had to do it as well, so I have no sadness for them. Good fun. That's what it's all about. Saying welcome to new people coming into the Discord there. So Mark Shelton now is down to actually, he's actually gone up a little bit in time. So Kowalski here is lapping slightly faster. So Mr. Shelton needs to start getting the shoe in if he wants to catch Kowalski now. And yeah, so look, I will be guaranteeing in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks we'll have the MX5 league up and running as well. Probably actually no, an F4 league over F5 MX5 I think starting out. We'll have an F4 league going quite quickly to get the lower licenses in, and then yeah, just keep moving forward. I'll try and offer a few different league races every week over the next coming few months as well. I will be looking into doing an endurance race as well, but I will have to speak to getting a sponsor in, and it might be a paid endurance where all the money goes as a prize pool, just to try and make it a bit more spicy. So plenty of plans. Executing the plans will be a new for me, but either way, this is the first part of it, is to finally get some kind of iRacing league off the ground. Of course, I picked LMP2s. It's a car that I like. I didn't really understand, I suppose, the licenses and stuff like that in terms of trying to get other people involved in it that may not have this license, which I didn't consider at the time. But yeah, I'm really excited about iRacing. It's an amazing game, amazing platform, and of course with the lovely broadcast tool and that, it makes my life easier. Of course, we still run the ACC leagues on the Wednesday night, and of course we do sprints on a Friday, but it's not really a league for the sprints now. It's just an open server on a Friday. Set up the race for 8 o'clock, and anyone can join whether they're in the community or not. It might be a little doorway for them to come and join us, but that's set up for every Friday at 8 o'clock. The race will kick off. There'll be a practice server up beforehand and qualifying. Go on, Chris. He's starting to get it as well. I think he's his lap times now are starting to improve quite nicely, which is what it's all about. But I'm going to stick with this all the way to the end. Only 17 minutes left now, actually. And 17 minutes, it's quite a gap for Mark. Now, I think Mark might have a bit of damage. Great stuff there. Back on with Simons. He's still pulling away, which is mad. Like, so Simons here has, I would safely say, with what, 16 minutes left to go, I think he has this one. It just seems to be really going well for him. Now, I don't know what happened with Ryan. He's still in the race chat, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe could be a hardware issue. But let's see how it goes. Good times though. 136.8, 136.5, 137.8. Last lap around, they're all in the 139s. Mark Shelton was that little bit faster as well. So it could be anyone. Well, not really anyone, Jeff, but it could go back a little bit either, depending on if there's any errors made. And as we're going around, sorry, I'm just looking at other data and that as well, just to learn what I'm at with this iRacing side. Of course, if there was more cars, it would make my life a bit easier, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Getting off the ground. Chris is definitely starting to find more and more pace looking at his lap times. That's what it's all about. He's actually lapping within the lap times of the guys there at the minute. So Mark now, I think, is kind of resigned to the fate now of being P2. Now he's dropped off quite a bit. That it's, I think, a bit too much for him to get back up to. But these guys doing a great job. I don't think Chris Heather sticking out. It's very, very tough. I'm mad to see that video of the poor colleague doing that one chip challenge. I'll watch it after. I'd say that's hilarious, to be honest. But Simon's doing a great job. Chris Taylor still doing a great job as well. Gaff isn't too bad really there. Though Mark's losing a bit of time. I think he's probably overdriving now to see how it goes. His tire's definitely feeling it. I think Chris probably is being too safe on his gear in there. Because it's such long gears, he should probably drop it into fourth and rev it out a bit. Then again, I'm a comms person saying that. I'm not the driver out there doing it. Easy for me to say. Absolutely easy for me to say. As we get into it there. Good stuff there from him. Looking through here now. Yeah, he's not dropping down the gear like he was before. He's able to carry the speed through it. So that's, you can see the progression there. When you're out learning, you're looking at others as well. You get those bits going. So Simon's there. Doing a great job, of course. Up 3 positions. Tedder's up 2 positions. Mark is where he started. Of course, it's Ryan and Mila who are down positions. Good stuff there from Simons. So one last lap he was a bit faster, although Tedder was quite fast in the last lap. Slightly invalidated by the looks of a 138.7. Simons was 139.3 and Mark was a 141. So Tedder was actually starting to lap faster there. Go on to Chris. This is what it's all about there, and so we're down now to the last 10 minutes of the race. Kowalski is doing a good job there, 139. What is he doing this time round? He's crossed the line there, 138.77. Let's see for Mark now. He's coming to the chicane now. That's how far he is back, unfortunately. Oh, nice bit of a wobble, but gets it through. Had to get out of it there, as you see, had to drop the gear. That wobble, I think, cost him just on exit there. He's going into the pits here now. Oh. As Tedder now up into P2. Simon's going nicely in the last 10 minutes. Doing a phenomenal job. Chris still doing a great job at 1:39.57 last time around, so definitely average laps improving quite nicely. He seems to have protected his tires a bit with that short shifting. As he gets a good job there. Back on with Simons, as Shelton's still in the pits there at the minute. Beautiful looking car these. Arda Delara. Nice. Gonna jump between them until you get down to the last few minutes. Obviously, you know, it's hard to stream with so little cars, as I was saying at the start, but I'm doing my best with it. Obviously, we're aiming to get this built up over the next few weeks and getting more and more in, so hopefully for the next season. But I do feel I need to get another F4 season up and going as well along with it, as of course the licensing I didn't even think of would be the issue, I'd say, in terms of getting active drivers on tonight. Beautiful stuff there. Nice. Still in the pits there. Simon's going to keep it going to the end anyway, which is what we want to see, is Tedder. Such an awesome sounding machine, then. So let's see now as we're down into what, nearly the last 5 minutes of the race now. Chris doing a great job. And Kowaleski, of course, he can nearly moonwalk home now at this stage. He is about 40 odd seconds ahead now, and with the other guys either out with issues. I know Shelton at the end was struggling massively with the car, so I don't know what was the issue there. I didn't see any visible damage on it. But yeah, we'll just keep pushing forward. Nicely done from Simons. That's what it's all about. And from what it looks like, there will be iRacing added to the drivers. Now maybe I'm wrong, but looking at the iRacing stuff here, Or rating stuff, should I say. Beautifully done. A bit of a lock up there from Chris, but not too bad. This looks like it's going to be the chicane. Probably be 2 laps left, I'd say, and then that'll be the race over with. Fair play to them for persevering with it. We go around now. I'm sure we're down, yeah, down to 1 minute to go, but I'm pretty sure there's enough time for another lap. And this is going to be, I'm sure, the final one now. Simons has been doing a great job all race, to be fair about it. Well, he did qualify, I think it was P4. He done a decent job through the race there. Fair play to Chris for persevering, although Chris is going into the pits. He already got a penalty. It's not showing up if he's got a penalty in my stats here. Simon's right through the chicane there, not a bother to him. And he gives the flashing lights. That is Simon's with his first race win in Supercharged Motorsports in iRacing. He gets to do it. Great stuff there for him. As he gets the job done. Tedder is back out then for P2. Although he's still going, so I reckon there's another lap left to wait. He was flashing, I didn't think he was realising it. Giving the flash again, giving the showboating. Where is Mr. Tedder now? Oh, Tedder's gone in for the fastest lap, I reckon. Fresh tyres. He's doing a Danny Rick. As he goes over there now. Flashing lights on, but I think he's flashing a bit too early. He could fit one more lap in here unless he slows down. I think he fitted just enough for one more lap. Oh, that's hilarious. Chris has another one more lap to do after this one as well. Fair play to him. Can't really give out about that. What I like is it's a learning opportunity for the drivers here today anyway. Obviously with such a small field, it was always going to be that way. But I think what I've learned, I need to run a more accessible license, so Class D or Class A, because not a lot of people seem to have a Class B that might do league racing by the looks of it. So here's Kowalski for the last time now, going through the chicane. Now he can flash the lights. He done it 2 laps premature. He actually finished too fast. Now that is it. He doesn't want to smash it into a wall doing that, but job's a good one. And a great race win for Mr. Simons. And we'll watch Chris Tedder come in for P2. Shelton's still in the pits. And so Chris Tedder any minute will come around. So Chris's fastest lap of the race ended up being a 1:37.8, but he is actually lapping faster over the last few laps than Kowalski. So he has something. He's learned a bit here this evening. That's probably more the main thing as he crosses the line there. So fair play to him there. Let's quickly go over the results there. We've got Spillman in first. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong results. Go on to the race ones there. And Tedder going for a bit of sideways action. So you've got Kowalski there from Tedder, Shelton. Then we've Milo and then Ryan Harper. As there you have a bit of donuts going for you. Brilliant stuff. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for watching. We do hope to have more on the grid next week. And we should see you for round 2 in Road America. Have an absolutely brilliant evening.
I'll never mistake the way